In this video, we're going to focus on the point of sale system, and this is part 24. And well, basically it is JavaScript, but now we're using PHP as well. So let's continue on. So what I want to do here is focus now on creating the database for all of these items here, because right now these are all just hard-coded values, and I don't want that. And same here. As well, as you can see here, I have changed some of the images here, where you have a difference between the drinks and the food version. So what are we going to do here now? Alright, so let's start and working on the database. And for that, we have our local host here. Make sure you're on your local host or on your web server. And here we have the menu items. That is basically what we're going to work with. And I have one already as a sample inserted here. So what I want to do now, of course, is to connect this with our page here that we can see here on the items here, eventually the pizza number 1 that we have here, and then make sure later on we're going to remove all of this and then just have everything in our database. So it will clean up a lot of our code here. So you can see here, we go down here, we have here a huge chunk of code that's just a loop basically. So what we're going to do here first, and this is the food section, so that will mean that we're going to focus on the food. And this is the reason as well why we have here the menu item category, because what we want to do here is show the food area only, or the food items. Here we have the drinks, so we put in here the food for the drinks related items. And maybe you have, for example, a special offer item, you could put it in here, another click, just like special offer, promo, etc, etc. So what we're going to do now is let's play around here. Go work with the PHP here. So what we're going to do here is just to connect with the database, or basically we are connected already. Eventually we need to put this separately in a separate file, but for now I just leave it in here and then we could just include it. But for now it doesn't matter so much. So we're going to work on here. So in here, which is just the starting point of the row columns and all the food items. So in here we're going to say this and then PHP and enter. Now you say you try. And PHP is not something I'm very what I use a lot daily. So for me, I had to get up to speed with this as well. But anyway, so we're going to say you try, and what we're going to do here is $sign. And then we say SQL equals, and what we want to do is we want to select basically the items, but we want to do a filter at the same time. So what I'm talking about here is this. We're going to select from this, but what I want to do here is very clearly to get the point of sale as well, put it in there. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to select this, we can remove this here, and then what I want to do is I want to grab this point of sale here. So we are basically in this table, we want to grab this specific table, or in this database, we want to grab this specific table. That's the right term here. So I'm going to say, go into this database, which is the point of sale database, and then dot menu items. Once we did this, we are able now to grab the item here. But of course, I want to do also a filter. And the filter is basically if this item would be a food item. In our case, a food item is considered number 1. Later on, if I put in an item with drink, this will be item or menu item category number 2. So that's our filter here. So basically, in this SQL or SQL search query, we are able to do an if statement basically. And so our if statement would be where, and it's not really an if, but we say where. So this is like a condition. If the menu item, which is more specific, not the menu item, but the menu item category equals number 1. Once we have this, then we have to make sure we have here double quotation, semicolon. So this here helps us to filter and grabs only the items that are matching with that. So I'm going to do your closing, and then here now we can start working on. So if this is the case, what I want to do now is I want to grab the result. The result is basically our search query here, and this result equals the $sign and then PDO. Remember, we're using PDO here, and because of the PDO, I guess it's in here as well, new PDO. So we're going to be consistent here as well with the PDO. And I'm going to say here, then will be the query, and this query is called this item here above. So now we have this here. And now we're going to say the following, is if the result has a row, basically if result and the row count is, or the result is bigger than the row count, what we need to do here, of course, on this compared to 0. So basically, if we can find any values with this condition that is true, if we get any rows out of it, and the rows referring to here, in that case, we can continue on. Basically, if we do this, you should be able to see as well. So I'm going to copy this. And if we do it here in the, I think it's in here, am I correct? We're going to grab this and just put in there. So you can see here, that's exactly the same here. And if we do here go, we should see here, we get how many rows? 0, 0, it says here. No, we get 1 row equals 1. Alright, so that's basically what we're really doing. We say here total 1 row has been found. And that's basically what we're doing here. So you can test your code as well in here if you want to quickly test if it works. So we have this here now. Then we have this one. Then now here we're going to do the following. Let me say here the while $row. So for every row value, I want to say here the results. We're going to fetch. Fetch means to grab or extract those specific values, and then do the following here. Alright, so what we want to do here, and this is quite nice, because this is basically when I learned Vue.js, you basically have the same here with Vue.js with the loop. So basically what we're going to do now, we're going to loop through all of these items. How many items are we going to loop through? Well, it depends, of course, on how many rows we have. So right now I'm just going to copy this and put it in here. And you can see here, this is the first item here. So if I save this here now, go back here, refresh. Oh, of course, sorry. The reason why we have an error here is we didn't close it. We just did only one part. I want to show this immediately, but of course it's not possible. And the reason why it's not possible, we're not done here. So what we need to do here is the following. So maybe we can just, let me delete this first, because I'm going ahead of myself. And let's put this back here. Alright, so we have this row result fetch. And then what I want to do is the following. I'm going to say here, alright, so between here will eventually be the HTML code. Let's comment this out for now. And then after that, what we're going to say here is the following. You can say here onset. And this is very important because we need to use later again the same command. But what you want to do is to undo any previous code here. So onset means empty the results that we had here. So if we're going to search later again, we don't have anything in memory. That's basically what it really does. So then we say here, we have this. And then if this is the case, let's see if we have all these parentheses here correct. Alright, that's this one here. Onset. Else, if we have nothing here, we can say here echo for now. Later on I'm going to remove this. No values found. And there we are. That's it. And then finally we have this, because this one is matched with the try and catch. So if we would catch an error, in that case, I want to do the following. Oh, and then make sure we have this here. Alright, so pay attention here. So PDO exception get the error value. And this error value eventually will do something here. What I will say here, die. We need to stop the entire command. Then double quotation. Oh, sorry. Double quotation here. Let's say error, and then we could do here this. What we have here, let's see here. We get here the error message. I'll just leave it for now this. If I save this here, we can just get the command later on, but eventually here, this needs to be just die an error. We have here as well the way to show all the codes, but that will be dangerous eventually. For now, it's fine. You can show that. We can maybe just do that one. That's all right. Because this is just basically a part not able to execute the SQL is a $, dot, and then we say here again dot, and then we say here $error, and this error indicate get the message. So we're going to grab the message here. There we are. But what is very important here later on, this should be hidden, or this not shown on your item when you are published or deployed. The reason why is that you don't want the users to see this, because it shows you the errors that they might use against you. So save this. Let's see here if you have this. Alright, it looks like it works, although I was expecting something here. Of course, we don't have yet here. So let's do here something. So what I'm going to do here with the PHP code, and then here we have this. Let's say test. So if there would be something, it should show here test. Refresh. Alright. So now it shows this. So what I want to do now is to start showing, of course, our code here that we have here. Now we can trim away all of this. So we copy this, we put it in here, this. I'm just going to show you this. Alright. There we are. And this is basically, this is very nice with Vue.js. Vue.js basically has this for loop option as well, because basically what we're doing is we're going to loop through the data here consistently. And this is in PHP. And Vue.js has a same functionality as well with this, which we can do with objects. Anyway, for now, I want to go on that because that's a slightly different topic, slightly more complicated. But what we have here, all of these, that's it here. Now let's start to match them. So we have here all of these items here. So let me get here the structure. You can see here the first item would be the menu item ID, which is basically this one here. What I want to do here is also this echo, or let's make a shorthand for that, like that. Alright, echo this, and then we say here the row. Are we connected? Yes, we are connected here. Alright, row, and then here bracket, and then here comma, and then here again comma, not a bracket, remove the primary here, semicolon, and closing PHP. So the next item would be, of course, the pizza. So here, it needs to be between the quotation here because it's a string value as well. So the item here is not menu item ID, but menu item name. So we're going to say here, name. And then we have another one here, of course, it's the price. So let's do this, price. And then we have the final one, which is the image here. This one here, image. So if I save this now, you can see here, these are all matching. Except for the category, we don't need the category here. Why we don't need the category? Because the category will filter out here, and I'm going to show you later on how this works. If we save this, refresh, we have this now, and you can see here now we have 7 items. We have double pizza, pizza 1, which is correct. Alright, so now we have this here, and if I change this in here to 0, refresh, you can see here now, no values has been found. So you can see this error here. I do not want to show any error here. We don't need to show anything here. You could put in here any text, say sorry, or start, please add your menu items here. Alright, so we would see like this. But this doesn't make any sense. For us right now, no need this. So save this here, refresh, there we are. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to convert all of this in here, but afterwards we need to make still the drink, or maybe let's do the drink, then after we can convert them, because that is the most important item. So what I'm going to do here is we can just basically copy everything here. And then I'm going down here and look for the drinks. We have here. Alright, so here in the drinks, we're going to do exactly the same. Put this in here. And then here, what we have here, the food item, or this would be now number 2. When we did this, we get all the same items, exactly the same code, except here, oh, you can see I forgot this one. We need to make sure that this, of course, matches. So we're going to grab here the menu name item, put that in here, and let's correct the upper one as well. Menu name item is here as well. Save that, refresh. So now you see here nothing happens here, but here we have, or I was expecting here something, but surprisingly it doesn't show. Oh, of course. So the reason why it doesn't show here is because here the category item is different. Let's see here, what did I put in here? I said here category number 0. Let's put it on number 2. That makes far more sense. And there you are. You can see here now we get the pizza being shown, and this is the item here. Beautiful. So let's start to work with this. So I'm going to put these now quickly in here, and basically we can now delete everything else. So what I will do here, just for the sake of it, just make it very simple. We have pizza 1 till 6. We already have these items, so just structure here. Alright, so we're going to insert them. I'm going to leave this blank, and then I'll say here, this will be pizza. I'm going to grab the name here. There's a pizza 2. And this would be, of course, the menu item price. Let's say this is $5.99. Then we have here the image, would be food PNG. You can get any item as well for the image. Of course, this should be matched directly with your database. Makes sense. Number 1 here for food. Next one here, pizza 3, $6.99. And this one as well, food.png. And this will be number 1. Alright, so what I want to add up here is, where do we have another one? Ignore, no. I want to continue on row insertion here. Where is that? I thought we had another one here. It's a row. Alright, sorry, that's okay. That's not what I wanted, but that's alright. We inserted them. But what I wanted to do was to insert more. I thought there would be a button here, but maybe I'm missing the button. Alright, that's basically this one here. If I do another one here, that's it. Alright, so what we're going to do here now, pizza number 4. This was $7.99, and then I'm just making them up. But I think that's very equal to what we had previously. We have pizza number 5. This would be $8.99, and then we have here food.png. And then we have this category 1, and make sure you type this correctly, PNG here. Next, this is pizza 6. This will be $9.99, and this one will be also food PNG. And here we have, what is that, number 1. Alright, so I want to add up, oh, no, cancel that. I want to put in here 4 more items, so I say number 7. So we have 7 items now, am I correct? Yes, there we are. So then what I'm going to say here, this will be water. And there this will be $1.99. And then we have here item, I would say here, is a drink.png if I'm not mistaken, number 2. Here will be Coke. And then we say here, this is $2.50. And then we have here drink.png, number 2. And then we have here orange juice, nice and healthy. And we have here, this would be $2.99, that's freshly squeezed, of course. Drink.png, number 2. And finally we have chai latte. Alright, so we have this one, the chai latte is a bit more high-end, so we say $3.99. And we have here drink.png, and finally number 2. Alright, so now we have this. If I do go, alright, so we have all of these. Let's go to our browse option. You can see here all of the items, and all of these IDs here are being shown nicely. Water, drinks, there we are. So now what I want to do here, if I refresh, we should have here all of these items. Beautiful. And we have here as well. We have water, chai latte, and I was surprised that I put in here food, PNG. I thought I put in orange juice. I thought I put in a drink, but that's alright. Apparently I forgot something here, but doesn't matter. Let's see what's the official name. I can check it in here. Food, and then here you have to drink, PNG. Alright. Anyway, doesn't matter so much. Maybe it's in my database. I didn't save it correctly, or I didn't save the file correctly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete everything else, because now we have this loop here. This loop will give us now enough freedom to continue on, and everything else can be deleted. So what I need to do here, make sure we delete the right ones. There we are. So if we do this, there we are. And next here, the column here, where is your closing? That's the one here. Alright, as you can see. So now everything can be deleted here. Save this, refresh. There we are, we have the pizzas. And alright. And we have one pizza here. So let's solve the pizza item. What's going on with the pizza item? Of course, you can see here I had one assigned as number 2. Let's change that. There we are. Refresh. There we are. So this helps us as well, because now you can start to play around with it. And next one, of course, will be if we click on this, you can see here everything else should work still same. If I click on that, we have here the exact amount and confirm. Alright, so once we confirm this, we need to say here, basically when we confirm it here, we need to use an Ajax here probably to insert this. So we have a few more items to do. One of the items is also the order number. This is a very important one that I'm going to work on later on. But what we will focus on probably will be the insertion here. So that will be in the next video. We're going to focus on the Ajax of it.